Hey guys, I want to thank you for your comments and questions. In the last video where I explained why piano improvisation is something that can be learned in the same way that you can learn to have a conversation in a spoken language. It's not just a magical gift given to the elite few, it's something that you can learn. If you don't know, my name is Mike Barden and I'm a longtime professional keyboard player and teacher. And I offer an 8-week course called Piano Improv for Beginners, which guides you step by step to be able to sit down at a piano and improvise in different keys and different musical styles. And if you're interested in that, you can check out the link in the description and take a free introductory lesson. But for now, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how improvisation is much like communicating with language, and also give you something that you can do on the piano right now, even if you've never played before or have any musical background. So let's get right into it. We'll start with the left hand by playing two notes at the same time. We have a G and a D, and here's how you get to it. Look at the piano and notice two black keys in the middle. Move down to the left, 3 black keys, then another set of 2 black keys, and another set of 3 black keys. And just between these two ones, we're going to put the 5th finger or the pinky finger. That's our G. And then going up note by note by note, this thumb will naturally fall on the D. So this is a G and this is a D. This is called a 5th because the first note is the first note of a scale, a G scale, and this D is the 5th note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's called a 5th. Now the next thing is going to be taking the thumb up by 1 note to the E. This creates a 6th. So we have a 5th and we have a 6th in the left hand. Now this is pretty simple, but what we've just done here is to outline a harmony that we can improvise with. Now harmony is a structure of relationship between notes based on the pre-existing rules of music that people are generally used to hearing. Now the thing is, language also has pre-existing rules of structure, like grammar, for example. In the world of language, this is called form. And in music, these structures are called harmony. Now, obviously, you don't have to know or understand all this right now just to be able to play this left-hand part. For now, I'm just pointing out that what we've just done is to provide a harmonic structure to frame our improvisation. Now, let me show you some notes to play in the right hand. And they're going to be here through here. And here's how we find it. Again, looking at the middle of the piano, here's the 2 black keys. To the right, a set of 3 black keys. Between these 2 notes here, we're going to put our thumb. This is a G. And then these 5 notes are the ones that we're going to play around with. They're called G, A, B, C, D. But for now, we'll just pick a couple. We'll just pick the 2nd note and the 3rd note and maybe the 5th note too, just for now. Now, rather than play these notes at the same time, we're going to play them separately, one after the other. Now, when you play one note at a time, this becomes more like something that could be sung by a person or played on a solo instrument like a horn or a wind instrument, and this is called a melody. And just from these 2 or 3 notes like this, you already have so many options of a melody that you could play. So let me show you what I mean. We could play loudly. We can play softly. We can play the notes connected to each other, smoothly. We can play them detached. We can even set different moods already with just the right hand. We can set a relaxed mood, or a more upbeat kind of mood. Melody is the part of music that most people hear first or pay most attention to. In the world of music with vocals, the melody is where the lyrics live and the personality and the expression of the singer. It's where the message and the meaning of the song are often conveyed. And again, in the world of music, we call this a melody, but in the world of language, it's called content, which refers to the meaning and the message and the intention that go with the words and the phrases of language. And just like you can speak words and phrases and sentences with different kinds of punctuation, like commas and periods, you can play a melody in different ways to communicate different things. So now already with just these two elements of harmony and melody, there is so much potential and power to play around with. But now we're going to add a third dimension to our improvisation here, and that is rhythm, which is defined as the repeating pattern of strong and weak sounds that give music a certain sense of pulse, which is usually associated with a certain culture or like a genre of music. And there are so many different rhythmic patterns that we can play with here, which all have different stylistic effects. Like, for example, using both hands now, we can create a classical kind of effect. We can brighten things up a little bit and make it a little bit more like rock. And just by changing the feel a little bit, we can make it more like blues. And for something completely different, we could turn it into a waltz, like something that goes like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in addition to the melody and the harmony we have to play with, we also have that third dimension of rhythm, which will provide a sense of the genre or the social context of our music that can be felt and noticed immediately. And again, there's a parallel dimension in the world of language, and it's called use. Use is about the cultural context of the language being used. It speaks to a specific culture and a specific style of communication. And again, I realize it's not necessary to know or understand or even think about any of this when you improvise music. However, when you can really see how music is actually a form of communication, I think it gives you a sense of aliveness and possibility as you are playing. And even just with these few notes that I showed you, you can see how a world of possibilities opens up in ways that you can express so many different kinds of moods, thoughts, and feelings on this powerful instrument that's the piano. So give this a try and let me know how it goes for you. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you do find this helpful, could you also do me a favor and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos on piano and keyboard musicianship that I do on this channel. Now, my own process of learning piano improvisation was the result of decades of playing experiences and learning things little by little and from a lot of different great musicians. So it took me a long time, but I'm really glad that I learned this skill because over all those years, I've discovered that not every piano player is comfortable with improvisation. But if you are, it makes you so much more versatile as a musician, and it's also just fun. And for some people, it even can be therapeutic or meditative, even just to play this on your own at home. So when I created my Piano Improv for Beginners course, I really wanted to just cut through all of that I went through and just make the learning process as simple and as direct as possible. And I wanted to make sure to provide all the tools and the information a person would need to become comfortable with improvising on the piano in the shortest amount of time. Now, in the next video, I'll let you more about exactly what tools, information, and practices that you would need in order to move from having no experience with piano improv to being someone who can just sit down and start creating music spontaneously on a piano. But for now, I'm curious about what questions you already have about this or your own experiences. Feel free to share those. Let me know in the comments and I'll reply back. Again, thank you for checking out this quick demonstration, and I'll see you soon.